justice, and restructuring of our animal system and animal welfare community-wide. Together, even with the community, these clouds which have permeated Columbus Animal Control with such darkness for years will be lifted, and sunshine will fill every crevice within on what will be a true shelter, a safety net, a true lifeline for our companion pets awaiting on a loving family of their own. And let me say this to you, without a moral compass, the human mind will justify anything. Good night, and thank you.
Thank you,
We'd
ma'am.
like to see you honestly take action and
Thank you.
change our animal sheltering system.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I think Ms. Mayhew.
So did you answer the question that she asked, or is that not for public knowledge about the administrative leave?
I think that was just put in a motion today, and it wasn't identifying.
Okay.
It'll be the investigation, and we'll bring the findings of the investigation back, and at that particular time.
Okay, so you got it, girls?
We'll go through that.
No?
Wasn't what I understood.
Ooh. Is my time started?
Yes, you have.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, I had to rewrite everything I had because you all have already answered most of the questions that I had, well, some of them. The main issue contributing to animal overpopulation is the failure of citizens to spay and neuter their pets. I believe this wholeheartedly. It surprises me that there isn't a law in Columbus requiring every animal adopted from CAC to be spayed or neutered before leaving the facility. The current practice of simply providing a certificate and asking adopters to arrange the procedure themselves is not effective. I think Mr. Davis asked where are all the dogs coming from? Are others from other counties dumping the dogs? Dogs can have puppies every 60 days. I mean, this is a huge thing. So without follow-up, there's no guarantee that this overpopulation will decrease or stop. Both stray and owned dogs in our community are producing more puppies than can be managed. Even with the fully staffed CAC, which currently isn't fully staffed, the number of dogs coming in is overwhelming, leading to the use of euthanasia. We are here for the voiceless. We do not want the actions of the videos repeated. CAC needs to be removed from under Public Works, and I feel that a new director is needed, and that director needs to be a compassionate person with business skills like marketing and getting the dogs put on the website, understanding how to maintain a budget, and willing to seek new ideas, and one that will build a family of workers that act like a team and a family at CACC. Mila being taken from his owner, inhumane euthanization, volunteers that are worn out, and rescues that do not work with CAC when the relationship with Paws Humane and all the other rescues 2 years ago were great. I think we need to get back to looking at helping the rescues build faith in what's there at CACC. And I'd also like to ask that privatization be considered. I know that there was a order or a request put forward years ago about privatizing CACC. Paws Humane was supposed to get the contract, and at the last hour, something happened. I don't know how to find out what the answers are to that. I don't know if that was done in executive session, but that could be one opportunity that could be taken to relieve more stress off the city. We pay others to manage our trash. We pay them to manage our recycling. It's just a thought. So I thank you again for listening this evening. And I spoke to Walker Garrett earlier, well, yesterday, and Walker and maybe even Mr. Davis, I'm going to look forward to trying to get with you about putting that law into place that all animals must be spayed and neutered before they leave that facility. Let's stop the insanity and stop the problem.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Mayor Pro Tem.
The issue of mandatory spay and neutering, I've been talking with Director Drell Short for several weeks, and they are in favor of mandatory spay and neutering. the problem we're at now, well, let me first say, Mr. City Attorney, would you begin drafting a mandatory spay and neuter ordinance that we could pass? And the problem we have today is we don't have anyone on board that can implement that. We don't have the proper staff to do that now. The person that's trained in both of those areas. So we could pass it today or next week or next month, but we still got to wait till we have somebody on board that can handle that. But anyway, I would like to ask for you to go ahead and start drafting that ordinance for us.
Right. And
Thank you.
currently, any animal that comes through the facility or is adopted out from the facility is already supposed to be spayed or neutered.
Well, no, it's an option it's the option of the person adopting.
They get a,
You get a credit, yeah, you get a credit, but they're not doing it. They're not doing it. No, the person adopting the animal gets a credit, a voucher, whatever, they get a voucher to go have it spay or neutered, and they're not doing it. They're not following up.
Yes, the
There's
vet's
no,
supposed to
and
do
there's,
it, report it back.
there's no teeth in the ordinance to require them to do it. So there's nothing there. So anyway,
should be done before they leave though, so.
that's what we need to be done.
All right.
Thank you, City Attorney.
Councilor Davis?
Yeah, ma'am, I agree with you. There are so many, look, animals suffer because, let's face it, irresponsibilities of human beings. And for several years, we sent legislation from here on our wish list. I worked with the former director of Paws to stop puppy milling in the state of Georgia. And we sent action up there, but that's all we can do. We've done it for several years. I don't mind sending it back up again or anything else that we need to do that can make a difference. But you know, there's so little time and so many things to cover here, you know, but adoption, whatever we can do in those areas, whatever, this dog fighting stuff and all, we got to really start cracking down on that kind of stuff. We really do. There's a lot of things that I said we could do. I can't touch on all of them, but we can start doing little things here and there. I don't mind taking that journey with you. And I do know that we're bound. There's several things. Again, I say we're bound. You know, I go to the city attorney, he says you can't do that because state law says you can't do that in the state of Georgia. I don't understand all those regulations and things, but I do know sometimes I'm up against the wall and trying to make progress. And there are some things that we're continuing to work on that I think is going to make a difference, a continuing difference. But somebody said it earlier, Ms. Wooten, you said it, working together. I believe you said that, together, working together. Look, we don't do that. I've said it before. You've heard me say it before. Who suffers? It's the animals suffer because we can't get it right. We need to figure out how to improve our relationships and work together, and that's how we make a difference. So, and we appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Kogel?
So in the ordinance, does it, can you clarify whether or not, let me backtrack. So for example, I adopted a dog. It was unaltered. I got a voucher in the mail, or I got a voucher that said I could go to Paws or whatever from animal control. And I ran a little bit of an experiment. He's been altered, so remain calm. But I did not hand in that voucher, and then 3 months later received a note in the mail from animal control saying that I was not in accordance with the ordinance, and then that I needed to bring back my paperwork to animal control or I would be in violation of the ordinance. So, but can you clarify what would happen if I was in violation of the ordinance? Because I did not turn back in because I wanted to see what would happen if somebody would actually come and knock on my door, but they have not. So
they didn't have evidence that you had it.
They do not have evidence. He has been altered for the record. But the dog has been altered. Okay, it would be a disaster if he was not.
That's probably what it was.
Right,
They
but
based it by looking to see which vouchers had been used.
Right, no, but no, I'm saying that if someone should have come to either visited me and told me that I was not in compliance with the ordinance, or I should have gotten a fine in the mail. But either way, it's not, we're not following through. So my question is, what is in the ordinance that I would be responsible for if my dog was not altered? If I ignored it, if I continued to ignore it? Okay,
For a violation of city ordinance.
Okay,
For the judge
well.
to determine
I'll drop it
the
off.
fine.
But the fact remains is that we're just not enforcing the ordinances that are in place. That's my point. Is that we have a spay and neuter ordinance in place, we just don't enforce it. So either they, like Counselor Allen said, either we need to spay and neuter before they exit the facility, or we need to follow up in a timely manner on the animals that are leaving.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, with
agree.
the same thing with the registration of animals for their rabies vaccine, you know.
Exactly. But they get a rabies vaccination upon intake, or if they're supposed to.
All right. Well, we've got, we need to go into executive session to discuss litigation and real estate. Personnel. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, we're in executive session.